Hello, I'm Davia Chambers and this is Let's Talk Tobago. We're on location today at the Half Moon Blue Hotel in Bacolet. This is the first of 3 establishments created by a former model turned entrepreneur, Gloria Jones-Knapp. This place was formerly known as the Old Donkey Cart House, but before that, it was Gloria's childhood home. It's designed in her one-of-a-kind style, as you'll see in our tour of the property. But first, a look at our top stories. THA to appeal the High Court judgment in the reforestation case. Tobago gets 2 more early warning systems, and tourism businesses learn how to leverage social media. These stories and more after the break.
The Tobago House of Assembly has a plan, the Comprehensive Economic Development Plan, CEDP, and it is for all of us. Are you ready to benefit from higher levels of development in Tobago and a higher standard of living?
We ready!
The priority areas are branding Tobago, clean, green, safe and serene, business development and entrepreneurship.
Are you ready?
Human capital development.
I'm ready.
Social development and resilience.
I'm ready.
Improve infrastructure and utilities. Enhanced safety and security.
I'm ready.
Environmental sustainability. Tourism.
Are you ready?
Marine resources and forestry.
Are you ready?
Good governance and institutional reform.
The CEDP is ready. Join us and get on board.
Let's travel the island, straight back to my land, even to Thailand. Anyway,
This is Let's Talk Tobago, and today we're coming to you from the Half Moon Hotel's pool. It's nestled between the 2 inns and built with a slope-like incline that surely sets it apart from any other. You can lounge on the seats provided and enjoy a clear view of the relaxing scenery. But let's leave it here to tell you that lawyers for the Tobago House of Assembly, the THA, have given notice that they will appeal the High Court ruling handed down on June 10, 2015. That matter relates to the impasse with the Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources over the reforestation program. The Assembly believes there are at least 4 or 5 grounds where the judge erred in law. Omadara Mills tells us more.
Both the central government and the THA were paying workers to be a part of this, a replanting program around the island. But the Assembly saw the government's involvement as an intrusion into its areas of responsibility, so it sought the High Court intervention to clarify the extent of its powers as it relates to the THA Act.
What the draftsman was trying to do is saying, really and truly, I'm not interfering with the powers of cabinet. I'm not even measuring the powers of cabinet. I'm not deducting from the powers of cabinet, but at the same time, I'm giving the Tobago House of Assembly certain powers. And that is what we have asked the court interpret what the draftsman meant when he used the word without prejudice in the act.
Judge Nadia Kangalu ruled, and according to her oral judgment, without prejudice means subject to. In other words, although the 5th schedule of the THA Act gives the Assembly powers, they are bounded by any overlapping policy of the Cabinet, since Cabinet is the executive body of both islands. The THA disagrees with this interpretation and will take the matter to the next level.
It has to go on appeal because really and truly, your Court of Appeal, where you had 3 persons of great mind who will give a judgment on this, which may be more acceptable than a one person giving the judgment in this.
The Chief Secretary of London says that the ruling underscores the need for Tobago to get autonomy over its own affairs.
One of the things we recognize is that if the law and the Constitution are not organized to protect us, we will always be susceptible to the machinations of unscrupulous central governments.
The THA has 42 days to file its appeal, and there it hopes to get a more favorable review of its powers. I'm Omadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
The Rum Shop. That's the name given to the restaurant attached to Half Moon Blue. It's home to a variety of events such as receptions, get-togethers, and most recently it was the location of an episode of Food Network's Extreme Chef. A group of medical professionals from the region known as the Caribbean Medical Providers Practicing Abroad came to Tobago as part of their thrust to give back. It was their second annual conference and community outreach. This year, they met under the theme Cancers in the Caribbean. Kisan Brathwaite shares some highlights from their 3 days of meetings.
Gathered in this hall are medical professionals and non-medical professionals alike from neighboring countries, the Sister Isle, and of course Tobago, all with the aim of advancing medical practices in the region.
On the first day, we involved physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech and language pathology. On the second day is didactic lectures, which is primarily physicians and medical providers. And on the third day, we go out into the community. The point of this is, one, we educate the rehab department. The second part of it is we help educate and network with our Caribbean colleagues. And the third phase of it is educating, touching the community.
The conference is an opportunity to learn from a world-renowned faculty on cancers in the Caribbean, looking specifically at prevention, diagnostic imaging, medical and surgical management, nutrition, survivorship, and neuropsychological interventions. Why? The Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, identifies Trinidad and Tobago as having one of the highest cancer mortality rates in the region. So it's critical to the efforts of the Tobago House of Assembly. It's a chance to keep local medical professionals up to date.
It is only by coming to these educational sessions that you get updates with what is happening currently, so that you are able to implement and improve the care to the patients that you give.
What I find is that people tend to underlook some of the complications that most patients experience during diagnosis as a cancer patient. We know that yes, there are medications and radiotherapy and chemotherapy, but to add to that, in coming to this conference, I have learned as well other complications that the cancer patients face and how persons in the professional field or in the medical team can work along to help persons with cancers in Tobago.
It's hoped that through the sharing of knowledge and best practices, the Caribbean region, but this country in particular, change PAHO's data for the better and in turn save lives. I'm Kisan Brathwaite for Let's Talk Tobago.
Here at Half Moon Blue, there are 8 suites. We're currently on the veranda of the Superior Room, which is located in the penthouse loft. Being here, it's easy to forget the war ISIS is waging in the Middle East. Now, if we were to discount the 17th century battles between the Dutch and the French, it's fair to say this island has never been involved in armed conflict. Nevertheless, Tobago is interested in ensuring it remains a peaceful society. And that's why those in charge are investing in many aspects of mediation.
Whether it's through the performing and visual arts or sitting down to negotiate, there are different ways in which you can resolve conflict. And that's the aim of the Mediation Board of Trinidad and Tobago, creating avenues to have a more peaceful society. So back in 2013, the Mediation Board collaborated with the THA to have the first Peace Awards.
The Peace Awards is really an experiment to celebrate champions of peace, celebrate heroes who are in the communities working towards peaceful resolution of disputes, persons working with the youth, persons working with battered women, persons working with addicts and trying to change their lives. There are a number of unsung heroes.
This biannual event is set to take place this year in the first week of October. Now, another biannual activity that's done between the THA and the Mediation Board is the Peace Summit, and that's scheduled to take place in 2016. But here's an insight into what people can expect.
The idea is to bring in international and regional speakers to these events, primarily to the Peace Summit. So again, you give the awareness of mediation and peacemaking initiatives a lift.
And here's the THA's take on the importance of these events.
Because I'm not recommending mediation as the first option in treating with conflicts. Tobago is ideally suited for that because, Tobago is marketed as clean, green, safe, and serene. Serene referring to peace and that kind of thing. So it fits in well with the kind of image that we like to portray about Tobago. So in terms of having a peace summit here and having the peace awards in Tobago, it fits in with that kind of persona that we like Tobago to be seen as.
Besides the Peace Awards and the Peace Summit, the Division of Health and Social Services has a mediation unit. This center provides free mediation sessions so that people can negotiate, come to a resolution, and help develop a better society. I'm Umudara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Why the community voice counts in the fight against crime? The answer on the other side.
Hey, why don't you step into the Scarborough Library facility? It has all the knowledge of our land, people and heritage that you just won't find online. The Scarborough Library facility is now open. Tobago Library Services. Information inspires innovation.
Thanks for staying with us. You're viewing Let's Talk Tobago, and today we're at Half Moon Blue Hotel. The decor in each room sets the mood for serene and lazy days and romantic, exotic nights. It also helps that the doors of the suites open onto verandas. All this could be destroyed though if this island doesn't have early warning systems in place should a disaster strike. Here's the story about two new pieces of equipment that can help to do just that.
You may be here having a relaxing day, buying something here or just in the neighborhood, and then you hear this. It's a tsunami tone that's coming from this device, a multi-hazard early warning system. It's what's used to alert people to move to higher ground in cases of a tsunami. As Tobago seeks to ensure that the population is safe, TEMA took the initiative to acquire 2 more solar-powered multi-hazard early warning systems for the southwest of the island. Now there are 4 in total, so that TEMA can reach more people and save more lives.
We must understand the vulnerabilities our communities are all exposed to, understanding that our coastline communities are at the greatest risk.
The devices, which are located at Fort King George and Pigeon Point, were purchased with the help of the U.S. Embassy and the THA, an indication of its importance to TEMA's people-centered model.
TEMA understands the importance of communication in times of emergencies, and that's what this program is really all about. The early warning system will allow Alan and his teams to communicate directly with people all over this island, giving them vital information and timely warnings.
TEMA's director says that the public has an important part to play in the operations of the early warning systems.
The local community ability to respond to warning received is integral to all of this. Therefore, each and every one of us has a responsibility to acquaint ourselves with our island's emergency evacuation plans, namely those for Southwest Tobago and also Scarborough.
Scheduled testing of the devices will be done on the first Thursday of every month. That's to get the public familiar with the sound so that they will be aware of it in the event of an actual tsunami. I'm Umudara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
One guest described this hotel as having amazing rooms, views, staff, and service. Sentiments you'd easily agree with if you spent some time around the staff and owner who work hard at creating a Caribbean feel. But a Caribbean feel means different things to different people. Many come here to experience our unspoiled beauty and worry-free environment. It also helps that our island is relatively crime-free, something the THA wants to ensure stays that way.
This is a continuation of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Town Hall meetings to close the gap between the community and the men and women sworn to protect them. The TTPS is trying to improve policing by visiting communities to get feedback from them, hear their concerns, and get their recommendations.
As an organization, we believe that we need to do things a bit different to get different results. So we have started firstly by developing a new strategic plan to run for the period 2014 to 2016.
A major issue affecting the residents is the lack of police presence in the area.
You're not seeing them doing much foot patrols, right? 1 or 2 times you might see them drive by with the vehicles, but I think that we need a bit more foot patrolling.
It has been discussed, and I assure you that you will see more police officers on foot in your district.
It seems to me a lot of police maybe just want to get paid. We don't have policing. Because here we are in Moriah, and we are suffering miserably. As a small culturally village, we are suffering miserably. When we have about 3 cultural events in this village here, and we doesn't get the permission of the police for none of them, especially I am a businessman, okay? We doesn't have the permission, not for heritage, for harvest, and not even sell for carnival.
So even Moriah, there has been a historical challenge. I am sure Sergeant Kerr will do something different to what has happened in the past.
And that wasn't all. The residents also want the police to do more to enforce the island's traffic laws. Now, this form of dialogue between the two parties underscores the police efforts to ensure Tobago remains relatively crime-free and to ensure early detection. I'm Kissan Brathwaite for Let's Talk Tobago.
Would you believe we're standing in what was once a kitchen? Gloria mirrors her diverse style, or as she calls it, her bit of fluff in the design of the lobby area. Here you can find murals as well as images of her Hollywood idols. Now, when visitors are looking for destinations and places to stay, they always check the reviews posted online. Traditionally, business owners focus on their websites, but they found out they will need to do a lot more to manage what's being said about their services on the World Wide Web.
Native Abode is one of the many bed and breakfast accommodations that tourists stay at when they visit the island. Now, the co-owner, Kate Trotman, wanted to be able to better understand how she can use the internet to market her family's business to get more people to stay here. She attended a seminar entitled Managing Online Reputations, hosted by TripAdvisor, the world's largest travel website, where she learned about the benefits of having her business on this site.
One of the things that stood out is the fact that when you do respond to reviews made on TripAdvisor, respond to good reviews as well as to bad reviews, there's a likelihood that people will actually come to your establishment because it shows that you care about the guests that you had and the fact that they took time out to make a review on your property.
At the session, just over 50 business owners in various sectors of the tourism industry were also encouraged to see how they can take advantage of travel sites and social media to advertise their products and services.
A lot of folks who are thinking about dive travel do a lot of research on internet prior to making their decisions, and therefore this particular program that we're running today is very important, I think, for anyone in the tourism industry to participate in, to understand how better they can promote themselves and market themselves on the internet.
The seminar, which is the second of its kind, was facilitated by the Division of Tourism and Transportation. It's part of the division's 3-part marketing plan so as to attract more tourists.
TripAdvisor falls, fortunately, under the category of direct consumer advertising. Because again, as I said, this is a medium, one of the media that is used for people to post and give reviews and so on. So consumers are actively engaged with the platform.
The division sees TripAdvisor as a social word-of-mouth tool. As such, the division plans to work more closely with the online agency to help formulate targeted strategies that can assist in marketing the island in better ways. I'm Umadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
28 teams and a battle on water. Find out what we're talking about when we return right after this break. You're viewing Let's Talk Tobago, and we're coming to you from Half Moon Blue Hotel from this room aptly titled Some Like It Hot. Now you may not know this, but Claudia Pegas, one of our nationally celebrated designers, wants to open a boutique on this island. She plans to set up shop in this very room. It's currently used as a lounging space, but soon Claudia's designs will grace the walls. Now, even though no one won the BMW or Ford vehicles, there were plenty of smiling faces, camaraderie, and lots of fun on the greens. Here's Omadara Mills with highlights from a 3-day event which saw 86 players competing.
Alan Elias and Andy Gomez-Burke, the top team for this year's Chief Secretary's Charity Golf Tournament. They got 87 Stablefoot points ahead of 14 other teams. They were able to outperform second place Shufi Ali and Dr. Warren Steele, who also got 78 points, as well as the third place duo Johansson Singh and Dave Rajkumar, who got 76 points. But the adults weren't the only ones who competed at the 3-day event. 10 young golfers also got the chance to show off their golfing skills. In the end, third place went to Krista Kent, while R.J. James got second. Ethan Batiste placed first with 89 points.
I think it is very encouraging that Mr. Azar and his team would make sure that the juniors are involved, because the juniors are in fact the future of golf in Trinidad and Tobago, and we must encourage the juniors every opportunity we get.
The golf tournament is now in its 11th year, and it's not just money that keeps it going.
We do this for our charity for Tobago, and for that, I am deeply grateful by everyone in this room.
Beyond the collaboration between the THA and the private organizations who host the event, there's the element of giving back. And those recipients are chosen by the Chief Secretary over London. Last year's recipients were the Infinity Home for the Aged and the Starting New at Golf Clinic. It's a part of the tournament that allows the sport to move beyond the greens and extend a helping hand to those in need in Tobago. I'm Omadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
When this place was known as Old Donkey Cart House, Gloria imported the finest European wine for her bistro guests. Though she no longer imports alcohol, the Half Moon Blue is always stocked with a choice selection of drinks, such as those in this rustic case. Teams are equipped with their bats, paddles, and drums as the race is on. Well, not just yet, but in 1 week's time, the Pigeon Point Heritage Park will be the place to be as close to 20 teams compete in the 2015 Tobago Dragon Boat Festival.
10 teams from Tobago and 18 from the Sister Isle will make up the competitors for this year's Tobago Dragon Boat Festival on June 27th and 28th, 2015 at Pigeon Point Heritage Park.
It's another sporting activity which can bring revenue, tourists coming to the island, so it brings revenue to the island. It's another avenue of exposing Tobago in another niche, which is the sporting tourism.
Teams will compete in the female, male, mixed and open categories for medals, trophies, and of course bragging rights. But there's a special race for all Tobago teams in the competition.
They're practicing every day, and we are hoping that, they win.
The finals will take place on Sunday, June 28th, 2015. The hope is that the event attracts scores of local visitors, as the event has grown into one of the most anticipated activities on the island's calendar.
We are expecting massive crowds to come out and, witness the dragon boat racing this year. And, we are very excited. The division is very excited in hosting this Dragon Boat Festival 2015.
This is the 5th year that the Division of Tourism and Transportation is hosting the Tobago Dragon Boat Festival. It's a main part of the Tobago House of Assembly Sports Tourism Thrust, as it positions Tobago as a perfect destination for sports enthusiasts. I'm Kissan Brathwaite for Let's Talk Tobago.
Staying at the Half Moon Blue Hotel means you're surrounded by a garden of palms, bamboo, and bougainvillea, a great way to connect with nature. Now, the names of these plants are familiar to most of us, but do you know at some point there were those who believed that scouts were a thing of the past in Tobago? For this reason, Felton Leith and the now deceased Henry James, then members of the Tobago Scout Council, created the Scout Visibility Parade. Anika Springer attended this year's event and filed this report.
Scout groups and students on the streets of Scarborough. Today they are celebrating Scouts Visibility Day, a parade that's only done by the Tobago Zone to raise public awareness about Scouts and the work they do. This celebration in particular has special meaning because they're honoring one of the men who created this very event, and this is how they're saying thank you.
The Tobago Scout Council has decided to rename our annual Scout Visibility Day to the annual James Leith Visibility Day.
The Scout movement in Tobago participates in camps as well as community and environmental work on the island. The hope is that these boys and girls will grow into responsible men and women of tomorrow.
It have the study group, and it have the traveling. So like if you're going to Trinidad, we give you the badges, usually doing a concert and stuff. It have the book reading club and other activities.
There are over 30 Scout groups in Tobago, and this parade should hopefully help to increase their numbers now that more people know of their work on this island. I'm Anika Springer for Let's Talk Tobago.
And it's time to have Your Say, the segment of our program where we hear from you, our viewers. From June 15th to 22nd, former football greats came to this island to be part of the BA Tobago Football Legends Challenge. For many, it was a chance to meet their idols, but another key aspect involved teaching young footballers and possibly discovering the next Dwight York. This event had the potential to boost our sport and tourism brands. So today we're asking, how do you feel about the BA Tobago Football Legends Challenge hosted here? This is what you said.
It's a good thing for the legends to come back to Tobago to play, so we can see all the legends like Dwight York and other icons come to represent Tobago.
Most of Tobagonians, we never get to really see the legends, so I think it's a good initiative that so much legends from the different teams come into Tobago to play.
Well, I think it's a good thing because they will bring revenue to the country, and people who is football fans, they get to see all the fans and get to see, get autograph.
I find it should be free. First to begin because, it's legends, okay? Yeah, and this is Tobago and Tobagonians need something special.
I find it's really nice for the country, so we will get a little more exposure in tourism.
Tobago is a football fan club and it will bring tourist attractions.
It raises the level of tourism because all these high-profile footballers would be on the island. It will bring Trinidadians across, and it will be an event that will boost tourism here.
And that's how we bring this week's edition of Let's Talk Tobago to a close. Remember, you can send us your comments or queries on anything you've seen in this program to information@tha.gov.tt, or you can even visit us at www.tha.gov.tt. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Davia Chambers, and on behalf of all of us at the Department of Information, have a safe and enjoyable week. As we go, we want to leave you with some images from some of the many events of the BA Tobago Football Legends Challenge.